Today, we're diving into what happens when a landlord-tenant relationship just completely goes off the rails. It's a pretty wild story, but hidden inside are some super important legal rights that, honestly, every single renter should know about. And that's really the big question we're tackling today, isn't it? You sign a contract, this legally binding lease. But what happens when the other person on that contract makes your life a living hell? Are you just stuck? Or can you actually, legally, just walk away?
Okay, so let's set the scene and meet our players. Our story kicks off with Donna, who's looking for a new place to live, and Perry, a landlord who happens to have a second-story apartment up for rent.
So they sign a totally standard 2-year lease. On the surface, everything looks fine. It includes a pretty common assignment clause, which is just a fancy legal way of saying, what happens if Donna needs to move out early? It says she can find someone else to take over her lease, but she just needs to get Perry's written permission first. Simple enough, right? What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, well, that's simple, straightforward agreement. It's about to get really, really complicated. Pretty much the moment Donna moves in, the problems start to stack up, and her new home becomes a total nightmare.
So check out how this all went down. On day 1, not even 24 hours in, she finds a serious safety hazard. The shower water can suddenly get scalding hot. She tells Perry, but he flat out refuses to fix it. Then, a week later, a different kind of problem pops up. A really powerful, gross smell coming from Perry's new cheese diet. After weeks of this, Donna's just had it.
And just look at Perry's response to the whole scalding water situation. Instead of, calling a plumber, he offers this. This isn't a solution. It's basically him saying, just trust me not to accidentally boil you alive every morning. It's completely unreasonable.
And his reaction to the cheese smell, oh, it gets even worse. Too bad. I mean, wow. No compromise, no consideration, nothing. This tells you everything you need to know about his total disregard for her just wanting to live comfortably in a home she's paying for.
So at this point, Donna knows she has to get out of there. But she's trying to do the right thing, She doesn't just want to disappear. She tries to find a solution that's fair to everyone. But Perry, he's about to go from just being unhelpful to being downright hostile.
So, she does exactly what the lease says. She finds what you'd think is the perfect replacement tenant, a wealthy historian. This person is financially solid, totally capable of paying the rent. It's a slam dunk. Donna goes to Perry and asks for his permission, just like the contract requires.
And this is Perry's reason for saying no. It's not about bad credit or a sketchy rental history. It's this bizarre personal prejudice against wealthy historians. And as we're about to see, that is just not going to fly in a court of law.
After rejecting the new tenant, Perry's behavior gets straight up malicious. He now starts deliberately running the water downstairs every single time Donna gets in the shower, basically threatening her with getting burned. After 2 more weeks of this harassment and that constant smell, Donna makes her move. She stops paying rent, gives the key back, and leaves for good.
But it's not over. Perry turns around and sues Donna for breaking the lease. And he's not just asking for a month or 2 of rent. Oh no, he wants the rent for all 22 months that were left on the lease. The stakes just got incredibly high.
Okay, so Perry's suing. Things might look bad for Donna, right? Well, not so fast. The law actually has some really powerful shields for tenants in situations exactly like this. So let's break down her defense.
First up is a big one. It's a legal idea called constructive eviction. Now, think of it this way. The landlord didn't literally change the locks on you, but their actions, or their inaction, made the place so awful to live in that you had no other choice but to leave. They essentially forced you out.
Now, to prove constructive eviction, you usually need to check a few boxes. And Donna's situation, it's a textbook case. Was there substantial interference with her living there? You betcha, the scalding water and that horrible odor. Did the landlord cause it? 100%, through both his actions and his refusal to fix things. Did Donna give him notice? Yep, she complained over and over. And did she move out in a reasonable amount of time? Yes, 2 weeks after he started deliberately harassing her. She hits every single point.
Her next line of defense is something called the implied warranty of habitability. This one is huge. It's basically an unwritten guarantee that comes with almost every residential lease. It says the landlord has to provide a home that's safe and, fit for a human to actually live in.
And let's be real, a shower that can give you third-degree burns isn't just a minor inconvenience. It's a direct, material threat to your health and safety.
That's a massive failure to provide a habitable apartment, plain and simple.
And finally, there's the covenant of quiet enjoyment. This is another one of those built-in promises. It basically means your landlord can't mess with your ability to just live in peace in your own home. It's your right to enjoy the space you're paying for.
And Perry, he didn't just step over this line, he pole vaulted over it. From refusing a critical repair to that final act of basically weaponizing the plumbing, everything he did was a direct interference with Donna's right to peacefully enjoy her home.
So with all these powerful legal arguments on her side, what's probably going to happen with Perry's lawsuit? How is a court likely to see this whole mess?
The contrast here could not be more dramatic. Perry is asking for a huge amount of money, but based on the law and his actions, what he's probably going to get is, little to nothing.
So here's the legal knockout punch, broken down. First, the constructive eviction essentially terminated the lease, which means Donna's duty to pay any more rent ended right there. Second, he can't sue for damages that he could have easily avoided just by accepting the perfectly good tenant she found for him. And finally, landlords have something called a duty to mitigate. They have to actively try to re-rent the place, not just sit back and sue for the whole amount.
Now, this story is pretty extreme for sure, but the legal principles here, they apply to every single renter. It's a powerful reminder that a lease is a two-way street. It's not just about your responsibilities, it's also about your landlord's. Which leaves us with this final thought. Your rental agreement is so much more than just the words written on the page. It comes packed with these powerful, implied rights to safety, to a livable home, and a quiet enjoyment. The real question is, do you know what they are?